K9RMR.
K9RMR.
Activating the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net. Our transmitter site is located in Scipio, Indiana on the WWWY Broadcasting Tower, courtesy of White River Broadcasting Company. Net control for this session is Randy, and I just gave my call sign. Stations with emergency or priority traffic may interrupt this net at any time. The net meets every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. local on the KC9PIE 14525, KC9 TME 442975, and the N9JWR Edinburgh repeater 443.025. Membership in any group is not required for participation, and all check-ins are always welcome. When you check into the net this evening, please indicate your name, your call sign phonetically, and your location, please. We use the check-ins surrounding this net for our Skywarn, Aries, and Races activities here, and it's nice to be able to submit that every month. If you have any traffic or information that you'd like to pass along with the net or any questions, this is your opportunity. Please call now. If you're interested, we have our monthly business meeting. We have been conducting it on Zoom. If you want to participate in that, which we just are wrapping it up right now, you can email n9jwr@yahoo.com for information on logging into the monthly business meeting and submit your input into the operation of this organization and the service we provide. Or if you ever want to check in, you just can't get onto the radio, you can always hit our Facebook page. So I had no response to questions or comments. I don't have any other traffic. So we'll do short time check-ins, Alpha through November. Please call out.
Kilo Charlie 9, Mike Victor Kilo, Richter Seymour, short time, no comments, no traffic.
W9 ANB, Amber in Bologna, no traffic. K9JOC, also in Bologna, no traffic.
KI9G, Brent in Bologna, no traffic.
K9 LHF, Kilo Delta 9, Lima Hotel Foxtrot, Mike in Charlestown, no traffic, no comments.
This is Kilo Bravo 9, Delta Delta Oscar, Earl Canaan, short time, no traffic.
KB9EFN, this is WR9G, Whiskey Romeo 9 Golf, Stephen Austin, no traffic. Thank you, Randy.
9Q, Gerald in Uniontown, short time, no traffic. Thank you, Randy.
Kilo Delta 9's here, India Lima, here in North Vernon, short time.
K9SVL, John in Shelbyville, short time.
Kilo 9er Bravo, Sierra Charlie, David, North Vernon, short time, no traffic.
Kilo Golf 9er Delta Kilo, short time, no traffic. John from Bartholomew County.
W9MI, Whiskey Echo 9, Mike India, Mike, Columbus, no traffic.
Kilo Delta 9er Romeo Uniform Yankee, KB9RUI, Steve, Decatur County.
Rick over in Seymour, W9AMB, KI9G, and the rest of the Bologna Amateur Radio Society all in attendance tonight. That's awesome. KD9LHF, Mike in Charlestown, KB9DDO, Earl checking in short time tonight. Good evening, Earl. WR9G, Steve down in Austin. Hope you're keeping warm down there. KJ9Q, his neighbor, Gerald. KD9SIL, Aaron in North Vernon. K9SVL, John, haven't heard from you a while over in Shelbyville. Thanks for checking in Shelby County. Kilo 9er Bravo Sierra Charlie, David over in North Vernon. Good evening, David. Kilo Golf 9 Delta Kilo, John, good to hear from you in Bartholomew County. And maybe a new call sign or an upgraded call sign. Whiskey Echo 9 Mike India, Mike over in Columbus. Thank you, guys. If there's any corrections or omissions, say now, or continue with short time check-ins November through Zulu.
Kilo 9 Romeo Mike Romeo, repeat, K9RMR, Randall and Rueff, Taylorsville, Bartholomew County. Good evening, Randy, and everybody on the net this evening.
All right, Randall, thank you for checking in tonight on the 443025 Edinburgh. Sounding good through there tonight. Sounds like everything's working well. And there was a double right in there. The other station that was in with K9RMR. Please say your call again. I'm sorry. And the one prior to that was Whiskey Echo 9 Mike India. The station in between Mike India and Mike Romeo. Please say your call again. I missed it.
Kilo Delta 9er, Romeo Uniform Yankee, KD9RUY, Steve, Decatur County. Short time, no traffic.
Very good, Steve. Great sounding signal tonight. That's a great station you have there. Anyone November through Zulu, N through Z.
Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Victor Papa, KD9 RVP, Ryan, Elizabethtown, short time, no traffic.
And you're right there on top of the repeater, KD9 RVP. Nice to hear from you tonight. I'll take anyone else November through Zulu. This is the Jennings County Weekly Commercial Radio Net. What's your evening? 37 degrees down here in Floyd County. Woo. We had a frost warning tonight. I forgot to mention that this past Saturday, ARRL had their October 30th simulated emergency test for Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois. And for that, we did have the Jennings County Amateur Radio Association repeaters and Edinburgh all linked into the Bloomington 14664, so maintained our ability to establish contact with another repeater out of the county in case we ever needed to do that. And we did get a check-in here from Aaron, KD9SIL, and then myself, I checked in down here from Floyd County. So next year, maybe we will work on having our actual SET back in force. We have done a few here in Jennings County. Just allows an opportunity for everyone to test their equipment out, get out in the field, and be involved. So that's it. We'll go to regular check-ins now. Alpha through Zulu, A through Z. Indy.
Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Papa Bravo, KD9 RPD, Bruce, for Bond County.
9 Zulu Bravo.
Same old call sign.
Okay, very good. Just I didn't have enough preons going there in my brain. And then I believe, Bruce, were you Kilo Bravo 9 or Kilo Delta 9? I apologize for that as well.
Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Papa Bravo.
Very good. I had some distractions kick in back here. Okay, we'll get back to you guys for regular check-ins here just in a moment. Any other regular check-ins for the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net? We'll take all call signs Alpha through Zulu. Jerry, I think, is wrapping up the monthly meeting. So top of the list, Nathan over on the southeast side of Indy. Sounding great tonight, sir. N9 Zulu Bravo. How did things go with your antenna project in the attic that you had some questions about a while back?
Well, I'm actually using it right now. I've got Comet GP9 sitting up in the attic, and that's what I'm broadcasting with, or transmitting with right now. And it's up a little higher than the GP3, but I can actually get in a lot cleaner. I think I can hit the 440 repeater down your way, as well as I can hit the Bloomington repeater now. So anyway, that's what I'm on now. That's what I'm doing. So, and hey, I did try to check in the Aries net. I got down hiking in Morgan Monroe, but could not hit the Jennings repeater from there. So, hey, 73, and thanks for the comeback. Have a good evening.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. There's some terrain issues between here and there, and I don't know if that would be possible from Morgan Monroe, but you just struck something up. I got to ask you a question. While you were hiking there, have you ever been across the Step Cemetery?
Yes, sir. I own some property down there, and I actually love to take my kids there at dusk and scare them with scary stories.
Yes, the Stump Lady. Okay, yeah, so I just once I heard Morgan Monroe, I had to think back about that. Been there a few times myself. Good hiking there. And I'm glad you got to enjoy that, and I'm glad the tradition of that cemetery is being passed on down through the ages, so it will continue. All right, well, be safe out there hiking, and glad you got your amateur radio with you. Let's move over, and so take care. And the radio is sounding great. Antenna's doing well. Audio's just a little bit hot, so if you want to be critical, but that's what I do. So let's go over to Bruce here, KD9 Romeo Papa Bravo. Good evening, Bruce.
Good evening, Randy. K9RMR. Don't have a whole lot. I was going to check in short time, but I missed the call. But participated in the CQ Worldwide contest over the weekend. That was a learning experience for the first time that I was able to do that. But had a lot of fun. Spent way too much time, trying to make contact. Other than that, back in it. So K9RMR.
Very good. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, and any input is appreciated, no matter what you think it means. It means a lot to us to have people check in and kind of fill out the time here. We do appreciate it. We'll see if anyone else is out there that'd like to check in before we wrap up the net. This is the Jennings County Weekly Amateur Radio Net. We'll take any and all check-ins, questions, comments, buy, sell, trade. It's open season.
N9IDC, N9ICV, Robert and Chris from Osgood, short time.
I got the Osgood gang, thank you, sir. N9IDC and N9ICV. And just a reminder as well, on 1 month from today is the Jennings County annual Christmas dinner for the Amateur Radio Association. So that'll be December 7th. Stay tuned for more details. We'll be putting some stuff up on Facebook about that. Be a good chance for everyone to get together. Anyone else? Alpha to Zulu, A to Z.
K9SVL with a comment.
K9SVL, John over in Shelbyville. Go ahead with your comment, sir.
Yeah, just kind of pass the word around. We did obtain some funding for new antennas and hardline for the two Rush County repeaters. And those antennas for the VHF and UHF repeaters will be back at their coordinated heights and should be as good as ever. And I know for a lot of years they didn't work very well, but finally got the funding, so the antennas will be up. Probably it'll depend on weather, so I'm sure that'll call the shots from here until springtime.
Well, congratulations on the funding. That is awesome, and getting everything back the way it used to be. Well, just from the signal report down here at Floyd Stobbs, I can typically hear the 147 000 in all band conditions. It's usually 1 or 2 bars, and when the band is up, it's slamming in down here full scale. So where you're at right now is not doing too shabby. I do have quite a bit of ground elevation here, but still, you're making it down here. So I thought I'd pass that along.
Okay, well, we'll keep you posted, but that project's moving along, so I'm sure it'll all be dependent on weather as far as timing of getting things put in place, but we'll keep you posted. K9SVL.
Roger, roger. I'll look forward to checking in the net there. All right, anyone else? Questions, comments, check-ins? 17 or 18 check-ins tonight, so I'm not upset about that. That's about it for average, and I had a great time listening, everyone, checking in, filling in what's going on around there. Great to hear from you all, and we will be back next week. Again, questions or comments, you can email kb90fn@gmail.com. Otherwise, everyone keep warm and have a safe week. This is KB90FN, and 73.
K9RMR.
K9RMR.
CQ, the South Central Area Net. This is K9OPL, Kilo Alpha 9 Oscar Papa Lima, calling CQ for the South Central Area Net. Net this evening is being held on the 70 centimeter Columbus Amateur Radio Club repeater. Net meets every Tuesday evening for the purpose of passing traffic, promoting good fellowship among amateur radio operators, and practicing net procedures. The repeater is not currently operational on 2 meters as a result of a power outage out at the site. We are operating on this frequency this evening. All stations, please, if you hear anyone on the other frequency, I did announce it in simplex. Direct everybody over here. This is K9OPL Net Control this evening. Before we begin, do we have anyone holding emergency or priority traffic? CC call sign in plain English as well as in standard ITU phonetics. I'll next stand by for any announcements. Do we have any announcements this evening? OPL Net Control, and I will begin at this time to take short time stations. If you'd like to be short time, meaning you'll not stick around for comments later, we can take your check-ins beginning now.
Whiskey 9er, Bravo, Alpha Golf, Brad in Columbus, in and out. Good to hear you out there, Joe.
Kilo 9 Romeo Mike Romeo, repeat, K9RMR, Randall and Rueff, Tazewell, Bartholomew County. Good evening, Joe, and everybody else on the net this evening.
Brad, W9BAG, Randall, K9RMR. Other short time, please. K9OPL with the South Central Area Net. This evening operating on the 70 centimeter repeater. I'm going to begin taking regular check-ins. We'll start with stations suffixes beginning with the letters Alpha through Hotel. Alpha through Hotel suffixes, please.
That is KG9DK, John, Bartholomew County. Good evening to you, Joe, and the net.
G9DK won it. There was another station, I believe. Other station, please come back.
N9CJT, November 9 Charlie Juliet Tango. Good evening, Joe.
N9CJT, got you, Noel. Thank you very much. Any others? Alpha through Hotel. Through Romeo, please.
Kilo Delta 9, Romeo, Papa Bravo, Bruce, Fontaine County, KD9 RP.
On that one, KD9RPB. The other station, come back again, please.
WE9MI, Whiskey Echo 9, Mike India, Mike, Bartholomew County.
E9MI, got you, Mike. Everybody's sounding good on this repeater so far this evening, so that's great. Any others? India through Romeo.
KB5 SDX, Kilo Bravo 5, Sierra Delta X-Ray, Gordon in Columbus.
Let's take the rest of the alphabet. Sierra through Zulu. This is K9OPL, South Central Area Net. We'll take the entire alphabet. Alpha through Zulu. Check-ins, please. South Central Area Net, and we will take check-ins. One more call for check-ins before we go back for comments. This is K9OPL standing by. Start with this list, and we'll go back and take some comments from this little group here. And we'll go back to KG9DK. John, good evening.
This is KG9DK. Good evening, Joe, and the net. Yeah, I'm glad you give that last-minute announcement on 2 meters. I was getting all set up on 2 meters. I remember now that you said it that, hey, the email announced that fact too. So you saved the day for me. Anyhow, glad to be able to check in on 440 machine. Haven't done much ham radio stuff, but still doing some electronics, and my daughter passed on to me her Surface Pro 3. Sort of getting listened to a couple reviews on YouTube, one for and one not so for, and it been taking up a little time. Been fun, and that's about it at this end. Sounds like fall is really starting to show the cold side here, and I still got a bunch of sycamore leaves to rake eventually. This is KG9DK, back to net control.
That I announced it actually twice, but I was hoping that if anybody did pick up on it, they would maybe steer anybody else in this direction. But looks like we got several of you so far. That's good, and good to use this repeater occasionally. N9CJT, Noel, good evening. Your turn.
Well, good evening again to Joe and the group. I guess first thing I want to comment on is just a thank you to Gordon for making the trip out there to check on the tower lights. That helped a bunch. And maybe we'll get the repeater up and running again when they get their work order done, or however that works for getting power back to the repeater site. Let's see, there's a club meeting coming up a week from Thursday, and the program will be on solar panel driven ham radio, but there will also be an opportunity for people to get more involved with the Columbus Ham Fest. Hopefully somebody will get involved anyway, because if we don't have someone to handle the many, many things that Matt handled back in 2018, there won't be another one. So let me reset. And I want to remind folks of the Simplex Fellowship Net that takes place on Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. And looking forward to that operation again. Might talk Bruce, K9RMR into being net control if he's willing. And this is N9CJT, back to net control. Thanks, Joe.
All right, very good, Noel. And yeah, last couple of weeks, I think one week I forgot it, and the other week I got doing something else and never made it. I think I tried to make it last week, but I was late, and it must have been a shorter net, so I missed it. Speaking of Bruce, KD9RPB is up next for comments. Good evening, Bruce. You're out for comments, Bruce?
KD9RPB. Good evening, Joe, and everybody else on the net. Yeah, I'm around. Not much going on. I did get to participate in helping clean out the shed the other weekend. Didn't feel like I was doing a lot more looking and I think actually carrying stuff to and from, because I wasn't for sure what the value of any of it was. But I think Mike looked like he had quite a bit of stuff to carry, but back to his house anyway. And then I got back home and played around with the little of the CQ worldwide contest. That was pretty fun. First part of it was pretty frustrating, because trying to dial and find everybody out where they're at, and then I ended up figuring out how to use my spotter information on my logging software, and that totally changed the game. And I ended up doing a lot of new countries I've never done before, so that was a lot of fun talking to those and seeing how well the antenna works. But other than that, that's about all I did during the weekend. So back to net control, KD9RPB.
Okay, very good. And yes, and thanks to all of you who participated in that cleanup endeavor for that gentleman. And also, several people were involved in the simulated emergency test, and it was great to have Jeff back. He helped me immensely. I volunteered to serve as net control, and we had a pretty good net. Did some things, made contacts, and had some out of county contacts as well, and that was nice. WE9MI, Mike. Good evening. Your turn.
K9OPL from W9MI. Good evening, Joe, and everybody on the net. Found out tonight that my quarter wave ground plane antenna for 2 meters also works well as a, I reckon it'd be a 3/4 wave or so ground plane for 70 centimeters. Yeah, the radio seems to like it anyway. Of course, I'm pushing a whopping 2 watts, so not much you could feed back and hurt anything anyway. But yeah, so I got some stuff. I gotta get some of it out of the truck yet from the clean out, but that went well. We do need to get at least a couple guys probably to go back over and finish with the equipment, largely test equipment that was in the smaller room, but we'll get that planned out at some point. And that's I think about it. Oh, the other thing I was going to comment was that for whatever reason on 2 meters, Joe, I can't hear you on the input frequency, but up here on 70 centimeter, I can get you loud and clear on the input, so thought that was interesting. Not sure what to make of it other than whatever's stopping the 2 meter waves. Apparently, I'm either getting a good bounce on 70 centimeters or getting here one way or another. So anyway, that's about it. So I will send it back to net control. This is WE9MI.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I don't hear you loud on the input on this frequency, but you're full quieting in the repeater on this, on both of them really, but on this one you're really coming through, and I'm glad to know that I'm apparently getting into this one okay at 10 watts. That's generally what I run on this radio. I can run a 5, 10, or 50. I wish they had a little bit more differential there, but they don't. The low is 5, medium is 10, which I would have debated that with them and said medium should have been about 15 or maybe 20, but anyway, thanks for being there, and thanks again to all of you that worked the cleanup on Saturday. KB5SDX Gordon, thank you for being the rover last night and finding out for sure why there was no 2 meter repeater out there. Your turn for comments.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming to me, Joe. Yeah, not a whole lot going on in my world right now. I've just been looking at different options for HF, both radios, antennas, and that kind of excitement, and things like that. I got to say, though, I am looking forward to the next meeting there with the solar stuff. That sounds like a cool meeting, and maybe I'll pick up some things I don't know about. But anyway, other than that, my day's going pretty good, guys. Hope y'all doing good. 73's everybody, and back over to net control. KB5SDX, over.
Okay, very good, Gordon. Well, that's great. Yeah, it's always fun to look at all the options available and get into HF. I like HF. Like to catch up on D-Star Sunday with you, or some other digital modes as well. I found out I'm going to be doing the D-Star net this Thursday again. I wasn't scheduled for it, but Nick needs to be involved in another meeting at that time and asked me if I could pick it up. And I'm available, so I am going to do it. Let's see. WB9SMC, Don, good evening, your turn.
Good evening, Joe and the rest. Nice to hear everyone on this evening. Not really anything significant to comment on. Just kind of a temperature shock, you know, the temperature's dropping. And now I know why my father wanted to move to Florida, you know, as he got older. I have no desires to do that, but I hate cold. Well, I used to look forward to the cold weather and even the snow, but that went away several years ago. But hey, I tacked in late. I had a couple errands to take care of, and I didn't hear whatever the comments were on the repeater outage. I'd be curious to what transpired. You know, it's odd that I gather that I guess the electricity was turned off. It makes me wonder if when we began to inquire on putting the D-Star activity on that location, and the vendor for the antenna out there had no idea that we were even on there. I wonder if we woke up a sleeping giant, and now that they know, some bookkeeper decided to, hey, let's pull the plug on this place. But anyhow, pure speculation. Hope that's not true. I hope we can get 7-9 back up again, because I don't think there's a better repeater in our area for our ham activities. But anyhow, evening everyone. Back to you, Joe, WB9SMC.
All right, very good. Yeah, this actually has happened in the past before they knew about us. So I'm hopefully that has nothing to do with the other situation. No one knows for sure, but they have lost power out there in the past, and if you've been out there, you know by the way it looks out there that they don't pay much attention to that site. So it can be a few days before they ever even know that the power is out. And it's not, I don't think they're actually legally allowed to do that because it's a tower and the lights need to be on. So if nothing else, I think that they're obligated to keep the lights on there because it's a tower. I could be incorrect about that, but I think that's the case. Okay, this is K9OPL. I don't have a lot to add to the conversation at the moment. Interesting that Bruce mentioned about, John, here I'm Bruce. John mentioned about the Surface 3. There's going to be a lot of machines starting to pop up available that'll be good machines, but they won't be ready for Windows 11. That may be some of the reason that we start seeing them. It's going to be some pretty stringent requirements for machines to be able to run Windows 11. Windows 10 will remain alive until sometime in 2025, just for those who are interested in knowing that. So we got another three plus years before we've got to do something about it. Okay, this is K9OPL, and this is the South Central Area Net, the 440 edition this evening, and we'll stand by for additional check-ins. No other takers, so I want to thank all of you. We still had a pretty good net, even though we had to move it, and perhaps some people didn't know it, did announce it, but only so much you can do. This is K9OPL at 7:53. I'm going to close the net, return this repeater to normal use, and for those of you who haven't thought about it yet, this weekend will be time change. So we will move our clocks back to normal time, which we only have for 4 months out of the year now. but that will occur, I believe it's 2 a.m. Sunday morning, so next week we'll be meeting at 8:30, but it'll be an hour earlier, 8:30. This is K9OPL. Good evening, all 73s, and look forward to talking to you on the next net. K9OPL, clear.
WB9SMC from N9CJT.
N9CJT, WB9SMC. Good evening, all.
Hi, Don. The tower owner has a emergency alarm system wired in such that if the lights on the tower go out, whether it's power failure or not, it flags it immediately to the FAA and to the home office. Because when that tower goes dark, there has to be a special FAA bulletin for aircraft in the area to avoid the area. Over.
That's a good point. I don't even want to think about the horrendous liability for a tower owner to not have the safety lights for aircraft. And I would think, I don't know, who knows what goes through their mind, but if it was me, I would have somebody drop whatever they're doing and get out there and find out what the problem is, just so that they don't incur liability. But like I mentioned, it's when we started to stir things up about the D-Star, and their response was, well, we don't even know who you guys are. What are you doing in our towers? The impression that I got, and I can just picture in my mind, a bean counter seeing that and then say, well, we need to shut those people off, because they've been getting a freebie for who knows how many years. And, well, anyhow, what will, maybe not, hopefully nothing will develop, and they'll be generous and, I guess, have a philanthropic sense of duty, I guess, to support us since we provide service for the community and safety and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, hey, no, I was going to ask you, maybe, I know a couple weeks ago on the net, I had questions about the WinLink. You use WinLink still, don't you, on Windows?
Roger.
I hadn't used mine for probably at least 6 months. And when I tried to log on and make sure I didn't get dropped from their system, Windows just absolutely would not cooperate. And of course, there'd been at least 2 updates, or at least 1 or 2. And of course, Windows now, when you go to look at your ports, there are none. If you go to your device manager, you can't see what ports are going where. It's just blank. And there's ways to get around that and look at them. But did you have problems with that?
I've not had any trouble with it yet, Don. Now, I started operating differently a few months ago. I wasn't using WinMore or whatever it's called. I'm using RDOP now, which is a different protocol, but it's in the menu. And that's a simple enough change if you want to try that.
Well, I tried that. Originally I had better luck using WinMore, and I also at the same time attempted to use Ardmore and had no problems with it either. It worked. But it just was frustrating. Of course, I've been frustrated with Windows for a couple of years. I know it's the only option a lot of people have. And I haven't tried. Well, I'm going to go back on, I guess, and I need to try to get it to work again, because I had it working perfectly. And I remember sending you a couple of emails, and it just worked like a charm. But this time, man, Windows, it wouldn't even recognize, the other stations. And I checked to see, if maybe WinLink had erased my if I didn't exist anymore. And no, I said, you're still there. You need to log on to such and such a server, which I tried, and Windows just absolutely wouldn't tell. Well, I just need to get back on. I haven't played with it for a good while. And I'll figure it out. One way or the other, maybe there's a Linux option on it, but I hardly ever use Windows anymore. Most of the time I'm using Linux, and don't have any of those problems that the rest of the folks do with Windows updates. Every time I try to turn on Windows anymore, I gotta wait 15 minutes because it's doing an update. Anyhow, hopefully that'll go away. Back to you though, I don't have any more comments or questions, so good to hear you on the K9SMC.
Okay, Don. Well, it's good to hear you too. I'll extend a special invitation for Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. on 146.430 Simplex if you'd like to participate in the Simplex Fellowship Net. We started that, I think, at the end of August, and it's continuing to go. Joe ran it once, and I think maybe Paul ran it once, or maybe it was Paul both times. I don't know. And I think it's a good idea to pass net control around some, because on Simplex we can reach different areas from different participants. But anyway, yeah, again, that's 7:30 p.m. Friday nights on 146.430 Simplex. And with that, I'll say 7-3 and hope you get your whole WinLink thing running again. Have a good night. N9 CJT clear.
Okay, Noel. Thanks for the info. And by the way, I was looking at a paper note or sticky note that I had on my table here, and I had that net, time, date, everything. And I'm sure it's coincidence, but I think daughter-in-law has got, was it deja vu or whatever you want to call it, that the last several weeks she's come over on Friday evenings at about the same time, and distractions, which I shouldn't, I won't call it a distraction, it's an enjoyable distraction, I guess. Oh, I marked the calendar again, so hopefully maybe I'll see you again this Friday evening, or whoever's in control. WB9SMC will be clear. Good evening, Noel.
And yes, we are going back to Gene's place over there on Beam Road this Saturday. There was a separate building that was housing quite a bit of gear that we didn't even get into. But the most important part of clearing out the garage so that Gene could get his grandson's truck into it, we were able to do, and Gene was very grateful, and I think it's just neat the way things can work so well when good hams get together. Mike got quite a bit of stuff to store. Ken got some stuff to store. Let's see. Chuck got, I think, stuff mainly to play with. I did the recycle/dumpster run, and trying to think who else. Randall came, Bruce came. We had plenty of hands, and it went very smoothly, I think. But we still need to finish up with the other building. So Saturday morning, N9 CJT, this has been a QST. If anyone has any questions, please come now.
K9RMR, just curious what time you were scheduling that for on Saturday.
I haven't talked to the other guys yet. Just thought I'd put that out there. K9RPB or K9MI, are you guys still around? Sure that there's a time Saturday that's best for him, and then I'll post it. Do you get emails?
This is K9RMR. I'm getting the emails that you guys are sending out. I don't know who else does or not.
Okay, well, if you're getting emails, I'll post it, and you'll have the information by Saturday. Thanks for asking. Did you get my email about measurements in the backyard?
Yeah, I got the email. I haven't had time to do it. We got people at the house this week doing repair work. So they're repainting and replastering and other things. Hold on a second. And so there's people here doing stuff, and had to put a priority on that, getting certain rooms of the house cleaned up and ready to go for that. So yeah, I got the email. I just like I said, I haven't really had time to go out there and take any measurements, but I got the radio that I got Saturday. It looks really good. I got it cleaned up and got the power supply cleaned up, and it's looks really good. So it'll be good to here shortly, not too long, get that thing up and running and see what can be done. So with that, I'll send it back to you. N9CJD, K9RMR.
Okay. Well, in the back of my head, and I think Ken was also thinking along these lines, maybe Chuck too, we ought to rig up something like maybe a G5 RV that will allow you to use that radio without letting the magic smoke out. Over.
Yeah, I don't want any of the magic smoke. Affirmative on that.
Okay. Well, 7-3, and have a great evening. N9CJT clear with you.
Okay. Well, if nothing else, I'll try to be there Saturday. So if nothing else, I can either talk to you tomorrow after the net or Friday when you the net. If I didn't remember if you said somebody else was going to do the net for you on Friday. I thought you said, but if you're there, anyway, between now and Saturday, I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk either way. So with that, K9RMR 73 clear.